and welcome to the crash course on Linux for Data Engineer using Linux machines, which allows you to execute your code and shell script on the system. I am going to be your guide as we explore Linux. So what are we going to cover in this course then? In this Linux for Data Engineer course, I will introduce you to the Linux world. In just 1.5 hours, we will go through every steps of Linux essential that will provide you a wide knowledge for becoming data engineer. It's going to be a fully hands-on experience. So roll up your sleeves and prepare to give it to your best. Data engineering is one of the fastest growing job roles, and this should be no surprise. The data footprints of many organizations these days is huge. Data is being absorbed from many different sources in a myriad of formats. The dirty data wreak havoc for analysts and data scientists whose core role is to extract models and insights. That is why data engineer job roles are booming, as they can help reduce this burden. In this course, I will talk through the basic skills required to fulfill these roles. First and foremost, benefits of this course. Being comfortable with the Linux and Bash shell. The Bash shell is your best friend. Any computer engineer should be familiar with command line tools, and data engineers are no exception. Linux machines are used everywhere these days, and as a data engineer, they are something I interact with every single day. Understand common shell tools and how to use them to manipulate data will increase your flexibility and speed when dealing with day-to-day data activities. Mastering Linux essential for data engineer can be a skill highly sought after by employers and headhunters. More and more companies getting interested in applying big data processing. Hence, this practical Linux tutorial can become your first step towards a lucrative career. Learn Linux hands-on from A to Z yourself. I am a firm believer that the best way to learn is by doing. In this Linux course, you will learn everything on the way and be able to put into practice straight away. Take the course now and have a much stronger grasp on Linux essential in just few hours. We will learn introduction to Linux, Linux distribution, installing Ubuntu, file system structure, installing software applications, how to get help in Linux, that is manuals, basic operation in Linux, that is cd, cat, ls, make dir, remove dir, exit, pwd, varies, stall, head, etc. System logs, file permission, editors, which includes Nano and vi, Bash shell scripting, interactive scripting, functions, parameters, if-else loop, Boolean, case, for loop, while loop, and until loop. My goal is to provide you with the practical tools that will be beneficial for you in the future. I am really excited you are here. I hope you are going to follow all the way to the end of course. It is fairly straightforward, fairly easy to follow through the course. I will show you step by step each line of code, and I will explain what it does and why are we doing it. So please, I invite you to follow up to go through all the lectures. Alright, see you soon in the course. Welcome back. In this section, we are going to discuss about Introduction to Linux. Linux is a Unix-like open source and community developed operating system that is OS for computers, servers, mainframes, mobile device and embedded devices. Linux was developed by Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds was a student in Finland in 1991 when he started a project writing his own operating system kernel. The popular Linux distribution includes Debian, Fedora and Ubuntu. Commercial distribution includes Red Hat Enterprise Linux and SUSE Linux Enterprise servers. The families are representative distribution we are using are Debian family systems such as Ubuntu, SUSE family systems such as OpenSUSE, Fedora family systems such as CentOS. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about Linux distribution. A Linux distribution, often abbreviated as distro, is an operating system made from a software collection that is based upon the Linux kernel and often a package management system. Linux users usually obtain the operating system by downloading one of the Linux distributions, which are available for a wide variety of systems ranging from embedded devices and personal computers. OpenSUSE SUSE Linux is a computer operating system developed by SUSE. It is built on top of the free and open source Linux kernel and is distributed with system and application software for the open source project. One of the most popular system is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Linux distributed based on Debian and composed mostly of free and open source software. Ubuntu is officially released in 3 editions: desktop, server and core for Internet of Things, devices and robots. Fedora Linux is a Linux distribution developed by community supported Fedora project, which is sponsored primarily by Red Hat, a subsidiary of IBM, which additionally supports for other companies. CentOS is a Linux distribution that provides a free and open source community support computing platform functionally compatible with its upstream source, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux is also called as RHEL, is a Linux distribution developed by Red Hat for the commercial market. So as we see in the video, we have Linux with desktop and server edition. Server edition we have OpenSUSE, CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Ubuntu servers, and for desktop we have Ubuntu desktop and Fedora. So this is the chart wise distribution of Linux. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about file system hierarchy standards. So as shown in the image, we have root directory and multiple subdirectories. So let's go with the detailed information about the directory one by one. Root.
is the home directory of the root users. If we compare with Windows, it can be a C drive. Home, user home directories. Bin, essential command libraries. So all the command libraries are stored in bin folder. Boot, static files of the bootloader. That is where the operating system gets loaded. Dev, that is device files. etc, host specific system configuration. So all the configuration level details are stored in etc directory. Lib, essential shared libraries and kernel modules. Media, mount point for removable media. Mount, mount point for mounting of file system temporarily. Opt, additional on application software package. All those details will be stored in opt directory. Sbin, the essential system binaries. So all system binaries are stored in sbin. Srv, data for service provided by the system. Temp, as the name indicates, it's for temporary files. USR, that is for user secondary hierarchy. Where variable data has been stored. Boot, statistic file for the bootloader. Dev, directories in the location of specific or device file. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video.
Let's explore the files. So first thing, we will go to files. Click on other location, click on computers. So here you can see all the files, folders which we have discussed. We might get some additional files because it differs from operating system to operating system, such as lib32, lib64, which means for 32-bit operating system, and libraries for 64-bit operating. So this is the difference, and here you can see we can explore it. Let me close the explorer. Now let's move to terminal. Just click on this show application and type terminal. So you will get a command prompt. So here you can see this way also you can move to the directory. CD is for to change directory. So I am going from root directory to etc directory. Now I am listing by using ls command. ls minus ltr will list all the files. So here you can see all the files. So here you can see we have all these configuration files in the etc folder. So this is how we explore Ubuntu system. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. A really quick note before we continue to help improve your course taking experience. Notice at the bottom of the player there are options for speeding up or slowing down the player speed depending on if I am talking too slow or too fast. You can also see on the other side a button where you can change the quality of the videos and also turn on the caption. Now these captions are automatically generated, so they are not 100% accurate, but hopefully they will help you if you want to see them. There is even an option to see full transcript of the lecture, again automatically generated. Lastly, Udemy will soon prompt you for a review if you have not done so already. Your review truly helps other students know whether this is the right course for them, as well as help us know whether we are making a great course or not. If you are not ready to leave a review, you can click the Ask Me Later button. But if you do leave a review, we truly appreciate it. And thank you. Alright, I hope you enjoy the rest of course. Welcome back. In this section, we are going to see installing softwares. APT is short form of Advanced Packaging Tool. It is not just a package installer, it is a full-fledged package manager. You can use APT to install, update, remove, and even search for software packages. The most common and simplest way to install packages via APT is to run the following commands: apt install package name. So let's see how to install Nano. Nano is a editor. If we compare with Windows, it is kind of notepad. So we are installing Nano, which is an editor. So let's get started. So the first step is to click on this show application button and type terminal. As soon as you type terminal will get open. So I am maximizing it. So the command is sudo apt install Nano. It will ask for password. Install. So this way we are going to install Nano. So you can see Nano has been installed. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about manual pages. A man page, short for manual pages. It is a form of software documentation usually found on a Unix or Unix-like operating system. Topics covered including computer programming, including library and system calls, formal standards and conventions, and even the abstract concept. A user may invoke a man page by issuing the man commands. For example, man space -f mkdir or man space 3 print. Let's see all this command in detail in the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So see you in the practical demonstration. So let's type the command man space -f mkdir. So it will find all the documentation related to mkdir. If I want to open the first document, that is the first one, I will write man1 mkdir. So here you can see we have a detailed documentation on make dir and press Q to quit. So there are two documentation. We have opened the first. Now I open second. So here you can see detailed documentation is available over here. So this is one of the helpful feature provided by Linux. Let's see few more example. We have a command print. So let's print also. So here you can see one documentation has been found for print. So I will write man1. So you need to match the documentation number, print, and enter. So here complete details can be found over here. And Q is for quit. Just press Q on your keyboard and you will quit and come to the terminal. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about basic operation. So let's look at the first three basic operation. CD is used to change the directory. Like from root directory we will be shifting to some another directory. Cat is used for viewing files. ls lists the contents of the present working directory. So the first three we are going to see in the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So the first step will be cd Hadoop home / big data / Hadoop home 3.3.1. So this is the directory present in my computer. You might not get this because this directory may not be available in your computer or laptop. Since I have already installed Hadoop, so I am getting this directory. What you can do instead of cd home big data / Hadoop, you can simply type cd / etc. So you will go to the etc directory. So for this purpose I am just moving to Hadoop directory. So as soon as I press enter, you can see I am in Hadoop 3.3.1 directory. Now I will be using ls command. So it will list all the files and directories. If I type ls -ltr, it will display the date and time of the files, like May 21, and this is the time, this is the file size, and this is the owner and group. So for me it is big data. So this is how we list the files and directories. Now I have a readme.txt file. So I will type cat readme.txt. So it will print the content of readme.txt. You can also print notice.txt. So here you can see notice file content got displayed. So this is how we use cd, cat and ls. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. Let's continue with our basic operation. So in this section, the three commands which we are going to see is mkdir is used to create a directory. rmdir, it is used to remove a directory, and exit is to exit from the session or from the terminal. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it, where we will see all three commands. So let's get started. So first thing, I will go to cd slash home slash big data. So this is one of my directory. I will create a directory my dir1. So this is the directory which I am going to create. So here you can see my dir1 got created. So I will move to my directory. If I press cd dot dot, I will be coming out. So cd slash home big data. So here you can see my directory 1 is there. If I type rm, let me clear the screen. If I type clear, it will clear the screen. rmdir my dir1, it will remove my directory. If I list it out, you can see my dir1 is removed. So this is the way we can create and remove directories. And the last command we will see is exit. Exit will close the window terminal. So if I type exit, I can see it has closed the screen and we are out of the terminal. So this is one of the way to exit the terminal. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section, we are going to continue with our basic operations. So the two commands which we are going to see is varies. Varies is used to find the location of source or binary file, and pwd, which displays the present working directory. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So first thing we are going to see is where is command. So I will type where is space Java. So it will show all the location where Java has been stored. So here this is the way we use where is command. Let's move to home big data Hadoop bin. If I type pwd, it will give me the present working directory. So this is the second command, home big data Hadoop 3.3.1, and we are in binary directory. So this is the way to use pwd command. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section, we are going to discuss two commands, head and tail. Tail will print the last 10 lines of specified file. Head will print the top 10 lines of specified file. So let's get started. Let's have a look on these two commands. Welcome back. we have a file called samplefile.txt. Let's print it by using cat command. If you see, file has 24 lines. So let's use head samplefile.txt. So it will show the first 10 lines. So that's why I have written the files with numbers and few characters. If I type tail samplefile.txt, it will show the last 10 lines. So it is showing from 15 to line number 24, which are 10 in count. So this is the way head and tail works in Linux. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to continue with our basic operations. So the first command which we will see is touch command. It is often used to set or update the access, change and modify times of files. So we will see this in practical demonstration of it along with the other two commands, which are mv. mv is a command to rename a file or directory, and rm, it used to remove the file. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So we have two files. So let's print ls minus ltr. So we have two files. One is 30th July 2019, which is mallcustomer.csv. If I type touch mallcustomer.csv, enter. If I type ls minus ltr, if you see, the time has changed. It is 11:36 and 1st of November, which is today. So this is the use of touch command. We can also create a empty file by using touch command. Touch touch 0.txt. So it will create a 0-byte file. So the file size is 0 bytes and 0.txt got created. So this is the use of touch command. Let's use mv. I will change the name sample file to sample.txt. ls minus ltr, you can see sample file got replaced to sample.txt. Let's use rm, which is used to remove a file. I will remove the 0txt file. Enter. If I clear the screen and ls minus ltr, so here you can see now we have only two files. 0.txt got deleted. So this is the use of rm command. It is used to remove a file. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to continue with our basic operations, that is ps and cp command we are going to see in this lecture. ps, produce a list of process along with status information for the system. So we are going to see this command, and we are also going to see cp command. It's used to copy a file from one location to another or on the same location. So let's get started with the practical demonstration of it. Welcome back. So let's see the first command, which is ps. So I will type ps. it will show processes. So currently PID, and this is the command. Bash is running and PS is running. If I want to see processes for the whole system, I will type PS space -el. It will give process of whole system. So here you can see process along with the more details like PID. For example, if I want to kill some process, consider you are running an application, and if you find some issues like your application is gone in the loop and you want to cancel it, since it's running in the background, we can use kill -9 and the process ID. For example, process ID number 10, which is RCU task trace. So similarly, you might be having some application running. You can find the process ID and just kill that particular process by using kill -9 and the process number. For example, 10. This will kill the process in the background. So this is some additional information apart from the command, because you might face this issue and you might encounter this kind of issues in your real life. So it will help you to deal with them. Sometimes you might notice that your application is running quite slow. So you can measure how much CPU it is taking by using top command. Top command will show you the CPU usage as well as memory usage. So this way you can find out how much application is using how much CPU and memory, and you can kill it by using the PID number, that is process ID number. For example, kill -9 1083, which is taking 4% of CPU, and you feel that is the process has been hanged, so you can do that. So that's all. Now let's move to the second command, which is cp command. Let's clear the screen. So here you can see I have a sample.txt. So I will write cp sample.txt. I want to make a copy of it in the same directory. So I will write sample2.txt. Here you can see file got copied. Same way, cp sample.txt, then I will specify home big data, and I will write temp.txt. So it will, let's go to cd/home big data. You can see a temp file got created. So this way we can copy the file from one location to another as well as create a duplicate copy. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to continue with our basic operation. The two commands which we are going to see are gzip and zip. Gzip is the most frequently used Linux compression utility. Zip is often required to examine and decompress archives from the operating system. So let's perform the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. Let's zip a text file. So I will write command gzip sample1.txt. So here you can see sample1.txt.gz is created. So we have zipped the file, means compress the file by using gzip. Let's clear the screen. Now let's use zip. What we will do is we will use sample2.txt file for zip command. Sample2.zip, and we will use sample2.txt as an input. So the command will create sample2.zip file. So here you can see sample2.zip file is created. So this is the way we use gzip and zip. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to continue with our basic operation. The command which we are going to look into this lecture is tar. Whenever we download Hadoop or Hive from the official website, we will find that files will be in tar format. So for that, to unzip those files into a particular directory, we will use tar xvf file, that is mydirectory.tar. It can be any name. For example, Hadoop 3.2.0.tar. It extracts all the files in mydirectory.tar as an example, or Hadoop directory for an example, and the data will be stored in that particular respective directory. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So we have file.tar. So I will write tar xvf file.tar. As soon as I will press enter, so here you can see home folder got created. So here you can see home folder got created because I have stored sample folder in the tar file. So that's why it created home big data files sample. So this is how tar works. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. We will continue with our basic operations. The last two commands which we are going to see are grep. The grep filter searches a file for a particular pattern of character and displays all the lines that contains that pattern. And the second command which we will be going to see is wc. Counts the number of lines, words and characters in a file or list of files. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So for grep and word count, we will be using sample.txt file. So first thing, we have 24 lines in that file. So first we will clear the screen by typing clear grep we will find 1 in sample.txt. So it will show the line 1. If I type grep 1 sample.txt, it will show all the lines which are having 1. Grep hyphen, so it will show all the hyphen present in the file. So this is the way to use grep command. So now let's clear the screen, and as we remember, we have 24 lines in sample.txt. So we will type word count sample.txt. So here you can see we have got 24 lines, 37 words and 117 characters in sample.txt. This way we can find the number of records in a file or number of lines in a file. So this is the way we can find wc-l sample.txt. So it will show number of lines in a file. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section, we are going to discuss about less, very efficient while viewing huge log files, as it does not need to load the full file while opening. So this is the command which we are going to see. And the second command is the date command. Date command is useful to display dates in several formats. So these are the two commands which we are going to see in this video. So now let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So first we are going to view few files. So the command is ls-ltr c star. So let me show you the location. I am in var/logs. So the file which we are going to view is syslog. So I will type less syslog. So here you can see syslog is open successfully. As we click on enter, it will go to the new lines. So you can see we are scrolling the file line by line. If I press page down, the whole page is going to go down. Page up will move the page up. That is the upward direction. And if I type /Ubuntu, it will highlight Ubuntu word in the system log. That is searching. For example, if we want to search a particular string, this will be helpful. So here you can see we can search also a string. So it is one of the useful command to debug. So less command is very much important while viewing the file. And to quit, just press Q. So when we press Q button, we move out of the syslog. So that's all about less command. Now let's view the date command. Date command is used to display the date. So today's date is 29th April 2023. So this is the way we can view the date. We can also change the system date. So for more details, type man date. So manual of date will be open and you will be able to display, debug and change the file, change the date of our Linux system. So this is how date function works. So that's all for this video. See you in the next lecture. Welcome back. In this section we are going to see three commands. df, disk free, used to show information about free disk space on file system. du, disk usage, most often used to determine the size of the disk or file. Top, a utility to show process running, CPU usage, memory and so on. So now let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So the first command we are going to see is df minus h or hyphen h. So this shows disk usage in human readable format. So for more details you can use the manual of df. So here you can see temp fs, temporary file system. Its size is this much and we have used this much. We can avail this much. Percentage of use is 1%. Dev SDA3 which is 98 GB, use 23 GB and 71 GB is available for us. And this way it is showing us all the details of the file system. So df minus h is used for the disk free, used to know the disk free space. So some of the file, some of the drive might be 100% usage. You need to contact our administrator to add new file, new storage in that case. So they will mount a new drive for you once your usage reaches to 100%. So next thing we will see is du hyphen sh. So I don't have permission to use this command in this directory. Let's see for a particular file. Syslog. So here the file size is 84K. Syslog. Syslog.1. This is also a file which is of 2.4 MB. So this du shows us the disk usage. Let's move to home. Type du hyphen sh. It is 9.7 GB used. So in home the disk usage is 9.7 GB usage. So this is how we use du command. Now let's talk about the last command which is top. So top command gives you the process ID, user, and here you can see CPU utilization and memory utilization. This is useful while when your CPU is 100% consumption and you want to determine who is using, which process is using it. So this helps us to debug. So this is how it automatically changes after few seconds. So it gets refreshed every time. If we compare with Windows, it is like the task manager. So this is how top command works. Just press Q, it will quit and you will be going to the command prompt. So this is how top works. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about history command. History command displays history of commands executed on the machine. So in order to understand this, let's move directly to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. As you can see, we have opened the terminal and we will type history as the command. So as soon as we execute history command, you can see list of commands will be displayed on your screen. So these are the commands which we have executed. So it displays all the necessary information which history command gives. So the clear command, scoop, import and Hadoop commands have been displayed. These are the history commands which we have executed. So this is how history command works. So these are the last commands which have been executed. So that's all for. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to look into system log files. So the log files are available in var/log directories. So the 4 log files which we are going to see are auth.log, last log, fail log, dpackage.log. So let's see every log in detail. So the first one is auth.log. Contains system authentication information including user logins and authentication mechanisms that were used. Last log. Last log displays the recent login information for all the users. This is not an ASCII files. You should use last log command to view the contents of the file. Where log, fail log. So this is the third log file. Fail log contains user failed login attempts. Use fail log command to display the contents of this file. Dpackage.log contain informations that are logged when a package is installed or removed using dpackage command. So these are the basic logs which we are going to see in this video. So that's all. Let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So the first thing we will do is we will move to cd/var/log folder. So we have lot of files, out of which we are only going to look into 4 files. So the 4 files will be auth.log, last log and so on. So the first file is auth.log. So let's execute cat auth.log. So it contains all the login related informations as we discussed in the definition. So these are the authorization log where we can see how we are logging into system and which ports we are using. So by default we are using port number 22. The second will be last log. ls-ltr. So the last login will be displayed. The third will be failed log. So which will be like who attempted to log in and failed in the system. So we don't have any unauthorized attempt, so fail log is empty. The package will be containing information about installations and the removal of the packages. So here you can see the status of all the installation packages performed on this system. So all the upgrades and status will be available. So here you can find all the depackaging information. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about files permissions. chmod is the command in a system call used to change the access permission of file system object, that is files and directories. So here the file system has been divided into user, group and others. User will be the file owner, group will be the members of the file group, others will be the users who are neither the file owner nor the member of the file or group. So the user who created the file will be the owner of the file, and group will be the member belonging to a particular set of group. For example, developer group, where developer access will be having on that file, administration group, where it will have the superpower, so the group will be administrator. For database administrator, it will be the database group, and so on. So the file permission for a file, you will see read write. RW means read write. R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for execute, so that we have the execute permission on that file. So RWX and RWX, these are the user, group and others. So RWX means read write execute and read write execute for all three groups, that is user, group and others. If the permission are RWR means owner will be having read write permission, group will be having read write permission, and the others who are not the part of the group will only have read permission. So let's move to before moving to the practical demonstration. For read it has 4, for write it has value 2, and for execute it has value 1. If I write chmod 766 means the owner will be having read write execute permission, group will be having read write permission, and others will be having read write permission. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So we have sample7.txt file. It has read write execute, read write permission for owner, read write permission for group, and read permission for others. So sample7.txt. So here you can see read write and read. So the owner has read write permission, group has read write permission, and others have only read permission. So if I type chmod 766 sample 7.txt. So here you can see I have read write execute for owner, read write for group, and read write for others. If I type chmod 777, it will have all the permission. Here you can see read write execute, read write execute, read write execute. If I write 444, it will have read permission. If I write 744, so the owner will be having read write execute permission, read write execute, group will be having read permission, and others will be having read permission. So this is one of the way to provide permissions to the file. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about Nano editor. It's like a notepad in Windows. Nano is an easy to use and require very little effort to learn. So that's the specialty of Nano. It's very simple and easy to learn. The commands which we are going to use will be nano space filename dot extension. For example, nano file1.txt. So if file1 is an existing file, it will open the file in the edit mode, and if file1 is not present, it will create a file1.txt file. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So let's see what all files we have. So for that we will type ls-ltr. So here I will type nano file1.txt because file1 is not available. So here you can see a text editor got open and we can write a few statements in it. This is file1 hello world. Now if I type Control O, it will save the file and press enter. So if I type Control X, we will exit the file. If I type cat file1.txt, we will see 2 lines which we inserted. So now if again I type nano file1.txt, file will be open in the edit mode. This is the third line. If I type Control X, it will ask whether you want to save the file or no. If I type N, it will not save the content. Here you can see we have only two lines. If this is third line, Control X, it will ask whether you want to save it. Type yes, that is press Y key from the keyboard. So the file will be saved. Here you can see file name to save. Enter. Cat. Here you can see our file got saved. Same way we can create nano file 2.txt. This is file 2 hello world. Control X, press Y key to save the file. Enter. So here you can see file 2 got created. So that's how simple the Nano text editor is. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about VI editors, also called as Vim editor. VI is a screen-oriented text editor originally created for the Unix operating system. So to create a file, we will use command vi myfile.txt. It will start the VI editor and edit the myfile file name. :w will write the data into the file. :x or $wq, where X denotes for quit the VI editor or exit VI, and WQ means write and exit the file. :q means quit VI editor. :q apostrophe means quit VI even though modification has not been saved. So if you don't want to save a file, we will use :q apostrophe. So this is the few commands of the VI editor. So now let's move to the practical demonstration of it and let's get started. So let's print the file by using ls-ltr. So it will list all the files. Here you can see myfile.txt is not there. So I will create vi myfile.txt. Press insert key from the keyboard. So you go into the insert mode. This is first line of my file. Press escape key and type here. If you see my cursor, here you have type :wq, which means write and quit. So cat myfile.txt, our first line has been stored. So the first is W is to save the file, vi command is to create a file and edit the file in the edit mode. But make sure you press the insert key in order to write the contents in the file. WQ is to save and exit the file. Now if I type vi and if I type :x, means I will first press escape key, type :x. Here you can see My command has been written over here, and type enter. So I will quit the file without saving. Let's print. So the next command will be q to exit the file. So let's type here. I will press escape key and then I will type q. So the q command is to exit the file. Let's open the vi file1 myfile.txt in the edit mode. Now I will press insert key. If I type escape q with apostrophe, it will not save the new changes made in the file. If I type cat myfile.txt, I won't see the changes. If I want to make the changes, escape wq, it will write an exit. Here you can see my 3 lines got inserted. One is blank line, second one is new line, and third is the third line which we have written at the start of the file. So this is the way we will use vi editor. But if you ask me, my personal favorite is Nano editor because it's quite simple to use. But vi is always present in every operating system which has Linux. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to see bash shell scripting. Bash is a command processor that typically runs in a text window where a user types command that causes action. Bash can also read and execute commands from a file called a shell script. So in this section we are going to see how to write a simple bash scripts that displays 2-line message on the screen. So for that we will write nano example shell script.sh. Then we will type the 3 lines as mentioned. First is the comment line where we are stating is a bin/bash which indicates it's a bash script. There are various kind of kernels, bash, csh and so on. So we are only using bash. So for that we will specify a denotion like #apostrophe bin bash which indicates is a bash script. Then we will write 2 things. One is echo, then big data. On the new line we will specify echo engineer. So in return the result will be big data engineer displayed on 2 different lines. You can then run by simply typing /example script.sh or by doing bash space example script.sh and the big data engineer will be displayed on the screen. So now let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So now let's go to cd slash home slash big data slash files. So I will type pwd. So I am currently in directory home big data files. ls minus ltr. We will see example script.sh is not available. So I will type nano example script. So I am in Nano editor. I will copy these 3 lines. The first line is comment and the next is echo statement, which is displaying big data and engineer. Press Ctrl X. So it will ask whether you need to save the file. Type yes. Enter. If I type cat example, it will display the 3 lines. So now what I will do is I will then type dot slash example script dot sh. Before that, ls minus ltr example script dot sh. We don't have execute permission, so we will write chmod 777 example script dot sh. If I see, now I have read write execute permission. Let's clear the screen. Let's paste dot slash example script dot sh. So it displays 2 lines, big data engineer on different line. We can also execute by using bash example script dot sh. So once I type bash example script dot sh, it will execute the same script and the result will be displayed. So this is how writing a small bash script, shell script, and executing it. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about features of shell script. So the first is automatic task and reduce risk of error. Second one is combines long and repetitive sequence of commands into a simple command. So the long form of commands can be clubbed into a single command. Share procedures among users. Provide a control interface to users. Create new command using combination of utilities. Quick prototyping, no need to compile. So these are all the features of a shell script. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about interactive shell scripting. Let's write an interactive shell script that accepts value from a user and displays it. So first thing we will write nano interactive script.sh. You can keep any name for knowledge purpose. I have written interactive script.sh. The first line will be the comment, which indicates it's a bin bash script. Reading the variables by using read name. So the first step we will write echo enter your name, which will be a display statement. Then read name will be accepting a name from us, and the last thing we will be displaying the name by using $name, echo $name. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So the first thing we will print ls minus ltr, that will list the files. So we don't have interactive script.sh. So first thing I will write nano interactive script sh. Let's paste the code. So the first line is the comment. Bin bash is the comment reading of a variable. This second line is also in comment. Third line is echo enter your name, which is a display statement. Read name will accept name from the user terminal. Display of variable values. So the next display statement is your name is an echo dollar name. So this is the variable and here we are printing it. So now let's press Ctrl X. So it will ask us to save it. Press Y. So it will save and press enter. Now ch mode 77 interactive shell script. So here you can see we have execute permission, read write execute. So first I will clear the screen and I will type / interactive script .sh. Enter your name, big data. Your name is big data. So this is how it works. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about functions. A function is a code block that implements a set of operations. Syntax is function name, round brackets, open and closed with curly brackets, and we have set of commands written in the curly brackets. For example, display one is a function name and we are using echo statement as a command. This is an example display one function. So it will display a line stating this is an example display one function. So let's perform the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. Now let's modify our interactive script.sh. So that we will write nano interactive script.sh. In order to save time, I have written a small function display one. You can see it will have this is an example display one function and we are closing the function. Here the function starts and here we are closing it. Now by using the display one we will call this function. So before calling that function I have written an echo statement which specifies this statement is before display one function. Then we have display one function. Then we have written another echo statement, that is this statement is after display one function. So we should see three statements. This statement is before display one function. Then we should get this is an example of display one function and this is an example. This statement is after display one function. So the three lines should be shown once we execute the code. So let's execute it by using / interactive script.sh. This is the statement which we have seen. So here you can see we have got three lines. this statement is before display1 function. Here the function gets called and we see this is an example of display1 function. And the last statement is display statement is after display1 function. So this is an example of function. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about script parameters. To pass parameter values to a script such as file name, date, etc. Within a script, these parameters or arguments are represented with dollar and a number. So $0 indicates script name, $1 indicates first name or first parameter, $2, $3, $4, etc. are the second, third parameters, etc. So we have an example where we have written echo script name $0, echo first parameter is $1, echo second parameter is $2. So now let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So first thing I will write Nano para script dot sh. I will copy these statements. $0 indicates script name, $1 indicates first parameter, $2 indicates second parameter. Control X, save, yes, enter. Now change the permissions to 777 to parameter script dot sh. Now dot slash parascript dot sh and I will type ABC as the first parameter and XYZ as second parameter. So here you can see script name dot parascript dot sh. First name, first parameter ABC, second parameter XYZ. We can also use bash parascript def and pqr as the second variable or second parameter. So let's execute. So here you can see script name as parascript.sh, first parameter def, second parameter pqr. So this is how we pass parameters to the script. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to see if statement. So the syntax is if condition then statement else statement fi. For example, in this shell script we are checking whether variable a is equal to variable b. Variable a has a value 10 and variable b has value 20. So the condition does not match, so it should display a is not equal to b. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. So in order to save time, I have already written the script for if else conditions. So now I will type nano if else script.sh. So here you can see first statement is bin bash, which indicates it's a bash script. 10, 20 as the variable a and b respectively. If $a equal to $b, then echo a is equal to b, else a is not equal to b. So here you can see this is our script. Now let's execute the code. A is not equal to B is the result, because A is 10 and B is 20. So if condition, the first condition does not satisfy, so it goes to else part and displays A is not equal to B. So this is the practical demonstration of if else loop in shell script. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to discuss about Boolean expression. Boolean expression evaluates its whether true or false. So the operators are ampersand ampersand, which means operation and, meaning the action will be performed only if both the condition evaluates to be true. Pipe pipe, which indicates or, the action will be performed if one of the condition evaluates to true. Not, it's an apostrophe sign, the action will be performed only if the condition evaluates to be false. So to get into details, let's move to the practical demonstration of it, where we will get to know each and everything very clearly. So let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. In order to save time, I have written a Boolean script.sh. So what I will do is nano Boolean script.sh. Here I have defined two variables a and b, which is having value 10 and 20 respectively. Then we have if loop, if and else loop. If a is not equal to b, so 10 is not equal to 20, then a is not equal to 20 will be printed, else it will be printed a is equal to b. Second thing is John and Jesse has been declared as a two variables. John is 21 and Jesse is 9. So here we are checking two conditions, and if John equal to 21 and Jesse equal to 9, then print John and Jesse. Else if John equal to 21 and Jesse equal to 10, then print John is 21 and Jesse is 10. So similarly this is AND, this is NOT operator, this is AND operator, and here we have written OR operator. Here two pipes indicates OR operator. Here we have specified if x equal to 10 or y equal to 20. Here y we have defined 21. So here it will print yes, x is 10 and y is 20. Else it will print x is not 10 and y is not 20. So these are the three things we have written in the script. Let's clear the screen. Type Boolean script.sh. Here you can see 10 not equal to 20, a is not equal to b, because 10 is not equal to 20. John is 21 and Jesse is 9. And the third one is yes, x is 10 or y is 20. So here the first condition got satisfied. So this print yes, x is 10 and y is 20 got printed. So this is how Boolean expression works. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to see case statement. The case statements allows you to easily check pattern or condition and then process a command line if that condition evaluates to be true. So the syntax have been shown on the screen where we write case expression in pattern 1 execute command, pattern 2 execute command, and so on. And the case expression gets end with ESAC, which is reverse of case. So in order to understand it better, let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. In order to save time, we have written case script. So I will just open it by using Nano editor. Nano case script.sh. So here I have declared a variable fruit which has value orange. Now I will write case $fruit in if apple echo apple, if mango echo mango, orange echo orange, banana echo banana. So the output of this script will be orange because orange is the condition. So this command will get true, this expression will get true and this command will get executed. So orange will get displayed. So now let's execute case script.sh. So here you can see orange got displayed. So this is how case script works. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to look at for statement. The for loop operates on list of items. It repeats a set of commands for every item in a list. Syntax: for where in word 1, word 2 to word n. Do statement to be executed and last line will be done. So this is the for loop. Example has been written: hash apostrophe slash bin slash bash for I equal to 1, I is less than equal to 10, I plus plus, do echo $I. So it will display number from 1 to 10. To get more clarity, let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So let's get started. I have already written the for loop script. So I will open Nano for script.sh. Here I have written bin slash bash for I equal to 1, I is less than equal to 10, I plus plus, do echo $I, done. So I will execute the code or script. So here you can see 1 to 10 got displayed. So this is how a for loop works. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to look at while statement. Here command is evaluated and based on the result of the loop will execute. If command raises to false, then the loop will be terminated. While command do statements to be executed done. For example, I equal to 10 while I is greater than equal to 0, do reverse order number $I, let I minus minus. So it will display number from 10 to 1 in the reverse order, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is an example of while statement. Let's move to the practical demonstration of it. So now let's open while script by using Nano editor. So I have already written the script. First statement is comment, which is displaying it's a bin bash script. I equal to 10 while I is greater than equal to 0. Do reverse order number $I, let I minus minus, and done. So this is the script. Let's execute the script. So here you can see reverse order number has been displayed from 10 to 0. This is how while loop works. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Welcome back. In this section we are going to look at until loop. The until loop is executed as many as times the condition or commands evaluate to false. The loop terminates when the condition becomes true. So the syntax is until command do statements to be executed until command is true, and done. So this is the syntax, and now let's move to the practical demonstration of it to get a better understanding out of it. So let's get started. Let's open until script. So this script I have already written in order to save time. So here first thing we have declared a variable a equal to 1. Until a is greater than 10, do echo $a equal to expression of $a plus 1, that is a plus plus, in simple statement. So let's execute the code. So here you can see from 1 to 10 got displayed. So here you can see we have a greater than 10, do $a equal to expression of a plus 1. This means a equal to a plus 1. So this is how every time the loop got executed. The loop got executed until the condition got satisfied. So when a reached 11, that time the expression got stopped or the control got stopped. So this is how until loop works. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video.